and it was right in the pee hole, dude.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
We are your best source of news and analysis on the internet, Jack. I'm going to start saying that as much as I can because it's absolutely true. But apparently pee holes come up now and then.
I don't know. You told me we're going live, and I'm like, well, you're going to regret that decision.
Hey, these things happen. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Welcome back to the YouTube audience. We had to kick you guys out last night because we had discussions that aren't allowed over here. It was a good show last night. If you guys missed it, it's still up on Rumble if you want to check it out. Good feedback from it too, Jack.
Oh, yeah? I saw like 5 or 6 responses, and then I wandered off.
I also want to say thank you to the people who told me I sounded like shit. They were much nicer about it.
Oh, yeah.
But they told me I sounded like shit and wished me well. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, sometimes I just, I do the best I can with this massive voice of mine, and sometimes it just, kind of, it happens.
Yeah, you sound a lot better today.
I'm feeling a lot better today. Still not good, but it is what it is. I got up, I moved around, I went outside for just a little bit. Played with Phoebe a bunch, and so I've had a decent day.
Oh, good.
How was your day? You do anything exciting today?
No, I didn't.
That was over. I serve it up to you, and that's your spike.
Yep.
You're like, nah, I ain't do shit.
Look, I'm the Eeyore on this team. We all know that. Oh, fine. No, I helped my folks for a while, and then I had to take my sister to work, and then I went over to my parents' house and helped them with the dog and did all their errands and shit. Got the trash around, just usual household stuff. And then I had to come over and do it at my house, which apparently my mini fridge broke. So
shit.
The old fundraiser's going on for that one. So I don't have a refrigerator anymore. But other than that, usual shit, just been busy. And I was trying to work on videos, and every time I started like getting images around or something like that, somebody'd call and I'd have to go do something. So I haven't gotten shit done. I got 2 videos done and they were shorts.
Oh,
yeah, it was bad.
In chat, we're being asked if this is clickbait. Are you talking about the title? No. There's a special counsel. We'll get to in just a second. We really will. It's that fucking story pissed me off, Jack.
Yeah.
We have a lot of news that we haven't covered in the last couple of days, things that have broke. Yesterday was just we couldn't cover anything because I wanted to cover that video. And the January 6th stuff is important because this really has colored everything since in the political world. So pointing out that it was, a setup is kind of important. But anyway, so Jack, shall we talk about Hunter Biden and the special counsel that was appointed to look into his shenanigans?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I brought up a CNN article for this, so the people while we talk about it. All right, so guys, just a refresher. Hunter Biden had a sweetheart deal given to him when he really should be going to jail for tax evasion. He was going to get a slap on the hand for a couple of tax misdemeanors. And in the process of that, they were basically going to nullify the federal gun charge against him, the felony gun charge against him. And the judge had questions about it because it kind of looked like they were saying, that Hunter Biden could never be prosecuted for anything. And the judge is like, I'm not sure you can do that. And so the Hunter team was like, but we want it. And the other side was like, well, we'll try to make this as legal as possible. And the negotiations fell apart. So our wonderful Attorney General, Mr. Merrick Garland, he appointed a special counsel in the case. Jack, who did he appoint?
What's the guy's name? Weiss. Yeah, I knew it was something close to that. What you talk about, Weiss? Weiss.
David Weiss, who happens to be the same guy who set up that fucking sweetheart deal. Are you fucking kidding me? By all counts, Mr. Biden should be facing at least 5 felony tax charges, probably another 3 misdemeanor tax charges, and at least 1, probably 2 felony gun wraps. And the felony gun thing, there's no question about it. Absolutely no question. He lied on his form to get a gun. And you can't do that. That's a felony. This is why Biden tells us we need more laws, because people like his son are getting away with breaking them. But because this deal is at an impasse, they granted special counsel status to David Weiss, the prosecutor who was looking into this. Jack, are you looking for any big fireworks out of this?
No, nothing's going to happen.
Not a damn thing is going to happen.
No, the Republicans are pussy little cowards, and they're not even gonna. They'll allude that they're gonna do something, but they'll do what they always do: get the photo op and then go ahead and do nothing. And nobody's gonna say anything about it in the press because everybody like sucks off Merrick Garland, Joe Biden at the same time, apparently.
Well,
so yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
In fairness to the Republicans, they have nothing to do with this. They can't do anything. The only thing they can do is bitch about it, which has already started. I think both DeSantis and Tim Scott called this out at the Iowa Fair today.
Well, I don't know if that's true, because doesn't Congress have oversight on how all federal money is spent?
Oh, I mean, they could pull money from the Justice Department, but that doesn't get Hunter actually in jail.
Oh, no, Hunter's not going to go to jail. I mean, the fix is in. It's been in for a while. And the way a couple lawyers were talking about that sweetheart deal that was initially offered was it might have been worded in such a way that he could escape future crimes they uncovered.
Yes, exactly.
Like in perpetuity. So he could just run around committing the same crime over and over again. Fuck Hunter Biden. He should be in jail. But there's different rules for people like that than there are for us little people. We live in a 2-tier justice system. And the sooner people get used to that idea, the sooner maybe things can change. Until then, no, it's going to be more of this shady bullshit. And these elites are going to get away with it because his daddy's powerful and rich. And he's part of the corrupt deep state that works for China and Ukraine and Romania. They're all fucking corrupt.
Hey, Scribbles. Scribbles says, I thought Weiss's appointment as special counsel violated regulations. Maybe it does. I haven't seen anything about that.
It's probably illegal somehow, but nobody's going to do anything, so it doesn't matter.
And if it does, then they'll just go, oh, okay, and appoint somebody else who's not going to do anything either.
Yeah, they'll appoint one of his underlings, or
it'll
just be a lateral move. It's not going to be anything. Nothing's going to change here. We can all say on paper this might be completely fucking illegal, but if no one's enforcing the law, it doesn't matter. Just like shoplifting in California.
We have Democrats, specifically Biden himself, Joseph Biden, out there like, hey, we got these rich people who aren't paying their taxes, so we gotta have more IRS agents so we can get those guys. And his son is one of those guys. His son evaded taxes and had somebody else pay them for him when it finally blew up in his face, when he finally gets questioned about it. His little sugar daddy comes in and pays his taxes for him.
I think you misunderstood. Those guys means political enemies.
Fair enough. But, I mean, this guy should be going to prison the same way Capone did, for fuck's sake.
Nope.
And instead,
special rules for special people.
Yeah. And all they had to do was fix it so that it doesn't say that he doesn't get away with crimes forever and ever and ever. And he would have had a slap on the hand. There'd been nothing anybody could have done about it. And this dumb crack addict is like, no, I can't take that deal. So he's going to trial probably. Now, and that's what it says in the article on your screen there, if you care to read it. But here's the thing. If they're only going to trial over the misdemeanor and basically throwing out the gun charge, it's going to end the same way. Even if he's found guilty, they'll just go, okay, how about really light sentence for him?
Yeah, so how about time served?
Even if he goes through the fucking system, he's going to get off. This is such crap. And the news media, they're like, oh, they a special counsel. But none of them are talking about it like this motherfucker should be in prison. None of them are.
No. Garland played the stupid little vengeance game because he's still bitter. He's not a Supreme Court justice.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But he's playing that like, oh, you guys wanted a special counsel. We'll just elevate Mr. Weiss to one. How about that? Okay, haha, there's your special counsel. Fuck you.
Hey, Alan, how you doing? Thank you so much for the donation. Hope you're well, my friend. Beth says this is a giant pile of bullshit. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is the kind of shit that makes people not trust their government.
Yeah, this is Banana Republic nonsense, and it's fucking disgusting. These people should all be ashamed of themselves for how blatantly pathetic this is. But they don't care because they don't have to hide it because there's no consequences.
Yeah.
When nobody's punished, what's the point of laws? They're just pieces of paper.
I saw Kamala Harris yesterday tweeting out about how we need the assault weapons ban. And she goes, and if this doesn't happen, there's going to be consequences. What's the point of passing even more laws if you're not going to enforce the ones in place? This is a felony gun charge. And he's getting away with disposing of his weapon because you can't, the way he did it, there's certain rules about how you have to dispose of a weapon.
Yeah.
And like, no, his girlfriend threw it away. Well, then he's still kind of responsible because that was his gun and he didn't report it. They report it to the Secret Service who goes and gets it. And they're like, what? Secret Service, who at the time should not have been having anything to do with Hunter Biden.
No, not at all.
but they went and covered it up for him. So that one he's not even going to face any kind of consequences for. The one he is still liable for, and there's literally zero question that he did it. The question on the thing is, have you ever been addicted to drugs? And the motherfucker lied. Look, we know he lied because he's been in rehab like 5 different fucking times. He got kicked out of the Navy for being a fucking junkie.
No, you just misunderstand. See, consequences are for little people.
This for the gun charge alone, he should be going to prison just to prove the point that breaking the gun laws isn't okay.
No, those are laws that apply to the peasantry, not the nobles.
Meanwhile, they are sending messages with the January 6th folks, giving them the worst fucking sentences they can give them to send the message.
Yeah, they have to stop dissent. How dare you? How dare you go against the dear leader?
Guys who broke a window and maybe walked in a building. One guy who moved a podium. He stole the podium. No, he didn't. He just moved it. And what he ended up with, like 4 fucking years for that?
Yep. Thank you, Alan. He says, hello, guys. Hope you're both well. Oh, not too bad. Hope you're doing well.
I'm so annoyed at this fucking thing. And the balls on this motherfucker to appoint the same guy who gave him that sweetheart deal.
I guess you should have gave him that Supreme Court nomination.
What's he going to do with extra powers that he couldn't do already as the prosecutor?
Oh, he's going to keep the Republican Oversight Committee from getting any information on the cases because he's got those under special purview now. And he's also going to start interviewing people that are talking bad about Hunter Biden and finding out if there's any suspicious connections.
Jay explains the whole special counsel why he can't be it. He says Weiss can't legally be the special counsel because he's not from outside the government as the statute requires. But the only ones who could enforce that law is the DOJ. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly the problem, man.
I don't know why people are putting up with this shit.
We know.
This is disgusting. Yeah, because people are fucking pussies these days. Yeah. But I'm just the blatant out in the openness, and no one is really that upset about this. It's sickening.
Half the country thinks that this is just something to get Joe Biden. They don't even give a fuck about what the guy actually did.
No, they don't care because he's special.
I bet you if you went around to a bunch of lefties and said, hey, Donald Trump lied on a gun application, which is a federal offense. Do you think he should go to prison for that? They would go, oh, hell yeah. Why isn't there a special prosecutor for that? They wouldn't be like, no, I think he should just have some, I forget what they call it, the gun deferment training.
Oh, yeah. No, it'll be restorative justice. So have to
It's what it is,
apologize
basically.
to trash people.
He'll have to go to a little class and be like, okay, you can't lie on a gun form. He'll be like, all right, I won't. And he's on probation for 2 years and nothing happens.
Yep.
It's such fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, this is Banana Republic stuff. This is disgusting. These people should all be fired and probably in jail, but nothing's going to happen to them. They're just going to continue to go after their political enemies.
If anybody wants to read that article, here it is. It's in your chat now. And that article is actually about how this affects Joe Biden. It makes a headache for Joe Biden. No, it doesn't, because they're going to, even if the press pushes on this at all, it'll be gone in 2 days. Something else will be on the news. The news has already been replaced because you had the Republicans in Iowa today. And even Trump showed up for that one. He was there for like, what, an hour, I think it was. And people are like, oh, he looks old and frail. He didn't look all old and frail to me.
No, I didn't think so either. I mean, he's old, but he didn't look that bad.
No, and like he can't do the job. He had to leave. It was 88 degrees there, and he was wearing a fucking suit because he always does, unless he's gone. Yeah. And he went there. He said hi to the people, did his little thing, and went home. You know, like Trump would do. But yeah, trying to make a big deal out of him going or only being there for an hour. Did you see him rip into the one guy who asked him if he would make a plea deal? Actually, it might have been a girl. He's like, no, I'm not going to make a plea deal. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, why would he do that?
Yeah. Look, there are times I'd probably take a plea deal even if I didn't do anything wrong.
That's called an Alfred plea. They have so much evidence on you that you're not going to contest the fact that they could probably convict you.
Even if they didn't, I mean, like, look, we're going to give you probation for 6 months, or you can roll the dice and maybe go to jail for 5 years. I'm like, I will file it under protest, but okay, I'll take that deal. If I were Hunter Biden, I'd have taken that deal.
Really depends on what I did.
Well, let's say you're Hunter Biden, the charges you were facing with knowing what you did, and even if they took away the clause that, you know, you can never be prosecuted again, and they made it specific to these charges, which is how that's usually done. Mm-hmm. Would you have taken that deal?
Yeah, because he's not going to do any real jail time.
Yeah, it was only probation, and as long as he doesn't get busted doing crack or breaking the law somewhere, he's free in 2 years, free and clear.
And we all know that the government agents will cover for him anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it totally wasn't his coke in the White House.
Yeah, totally not.
Hunter's at the White House, cocaine shows up, totally wasn't him. Right-wingers are obsessed with Hunter's dick. Homie, if you want to excuse crimes, just say you want to excuse crimes. That's fine.
Oh, no, just some crimes. The ones covered, done by people that they like.
Fair, yeah. As long as it's Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, look at the burning down of neighborhoods in Portland and Seattle and Louisville and Minneapolis, Milwaukee, various other locations. And then look at J6, where one person got killed. And look at how those were treated diametrically differently. But we don't talk about that because some people are better than others. They're more important. Some animals are more equal than others.
You know, it's amazing that with the whole Hunter thing, that has become the war cry of the Democrats. You guys just, all the naked pictures, that's what you care. No, we actually read the rest of the shit, and you guys are lying fucks who can't pay attention to what actually, don't want to pay attention to what actually happened, because then you'd have to admit that there's probably a criminal in the White House right now.
Well, those are inconvenient facts, and we can't have that.
Facts. Those are hate facts, Jack, and we do a lot of hate facts around here.
We do. But yeah, there's so much hate in the world because some people can't handle reality.
Speaking of hate, I was called a DeSantis supporter just before the show. It's wonderful. Because one of the things that Trump has said recently was that Cuomo did a better job than DeSantis with COVID. And one of his little fans pops up and is like, he was being honest because per capita, more people did die in Florida. Like, all right. Maybe
What's the population of Florida compared to those other places?
What's the elderly population?
That's most of Florida.
Do you know what the highest per capita elderly population in the United States is in Florida? What was the target demographic of COVID?
Old people.
Old people.
It's like homeless people with TB and leprosy out on the California area.
Just the other day, I caught an account who was doing the same shit. We watched the video on here where like Trump demanded people close down beaches, and we point out, no, he didn't. And at that point, I was a Trump supporter. It's amazing. We're in a place in society where it doesn't matter what you're actually saying. It doesn't matter what the truth is. The fucking tribes will just assign you the other tribe because they're fucking retarded.
Well, there's no nuance anymore. Just blind loyalty because people are followers and they're dumb.
I don't play your little tribal games. Look, I do think liberals and Democrats are mostly retarded. I mean, I have no problem admitting that. A lot of the things they support are just downright stupid. And for instance, one of the stories we didn't talk about, Jack, there's a female cyclist, I'm using female in air quotes, who's not allowed in the professional cycling world anymore because this female happens to have a penis. They said all they want to do is compete against the best. Wouldn't that be men? Even if you were a biological woman, if you wanted to compete against the best, wouldn't you want? I mean, men are the physically stronger, better athletes. But yeah, there's several sporting entities out there, Jack, that are starting to crack down on this shit finally.
They sound like bigots.
No kickstands for the women, and that just makes sense. But not on the left. The left's like, no, those are real women. They're not. I mean, they're just not. No, you're just a bigot. No, I'm not a bigot. I can actually distinguish between the sexes. I learned that very young. Most of us did. That doesn't make them bad people, Jack. It just makes them stupid. Anyhow, speaking of stupid, let's do today's dumbest thing I read on the internet.
Okay.
Because I saw this one not too long before the show, and it just fucking blew my mind. We have another one of these trad chicks, and she has some interesting ideas on masculinity. If a man is ever changing diapers, there's something seriously wrong with the relationship or with the order of the home. It's a sign the family has much bigger problems. Jack, it just gets dumber from there. Modern relationships have a complete disregard and disdain for gender roles. And as long as they don't admit that gender roles serve a significant purpose in a healthy relationship, modern people will never have one. After a woman has a baby, she needs lots of support. It's unnatural for a couple to be alone at this time. She needs sisters, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, etc., both to look after herself, her home, and the baby. It's not natural for a husband to fulfill these roles. When it comes to babies, people seem to... I'm not going to read the rest of that shit. At one point, Jack, she's responding to somebody who called her stupid for this. And she actually said that a man changing diapers or feeding the baby, this is a step on the road to transgenderism. All right. She included in there soothing the baby. If a man picks up a crying child and soothes it, that's just, you're gonna be transgender soon, or somebody in your family will. You're probably making
like
the baby
the whale,
gay.
the banshee kind of thing.
This is fucking retarded, man. Look, you trad wives out there, I get what you're going for, but you're just stupid. This is so fucking dumb. Jack, I've changed probably thousands of diapers in my lifetime.
Oh, you're one of the trans peoples.
Yep. I changed so many diapers, I grew a vagina. It's amazing. Didn't even have to have surgery. It just, there it was. Thanks for going with me on that.
I don't know how to respond to that. Look, I said on Twitter what I needed to say on this, and that was whenever people see me with a kid, I'm changing diapers. The women are always like, "Where'd that baby come from? You have to give that back. You can't keep it. Blah 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 blah. That's not a toy." And even more annoyingly, why are you in my kitchen? Who are you?
I
They're
wonder what
happy.
this person thinks about like military families. Like somebody gets stationed in Japan, and so their family goes with them. Mom has a baby. The rest of the family's back in the United States. You're supposed to fly them over, and they're supposed to give up their lives for whatever, and until you're able to do everything on your own. Hopefully, you never get sick. This is just stupid. There's nothing wrong with a man helping with his child. It's actually perfectly natural.
What if it's not his child?
I mean, even then, it can be perfectly natural.
Nope, fuck that. It's not your kid.
I like kids, though.
I like children until they're pooping or screaming. And then your mom's over that way.
That's the thing that really annoyed me about this was the soothing part. My voice, and I'm not trying to brag here, Jack, but I put people to sleep. It's something about this sound. And if you take a crying child and you put them on my shoulder and I talk to them and just sway a little bit, chances are they will calm down and fall asleep. It's just the resonance of my voice. I did that with my own children. I've done that with my grandchildren. And the idea that somehow makes me gay or transgender or my family broken is just fucking stupid.
Well, what are you supposed to do? Listen to the kids scream and freak out all the time, or poop, or smell their poop diapers?
Give it to mom and head outside so you don't have to listen to that shit. Go to your workshop. Go out there and cut down a tree or whittle some wood or something. This is asinine.
Yeah, I saw another one, not quite egregiously stupid as this, but Reseth was talking about the Tate brothers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some crazy bitch got in there in the conversation, and somehow the topic of oral sex came up, and that woman said that it's unnatural and you're a sodomite. And I was like, man, if your girlfriend won't or your wife won't blow you occasionally, I don't know about that relationship length.
I hear you, but technically it is sodomy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a bit of a harsh accusation. It's not like you're paying a hooker.
It's one of those things where it's none of your fucking business what people are doing.
Yeah.
As long as they're grown-ass adults, it's none of your fucking business.
Well, they were talking about married people, too.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing how some people are just very judgmental about what happens in other people's bedrooms. For the group of people that are always like, we should, it's nobody's business what happens in the bedroom. Then they go and judge everybody else.
Monk is a cut confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pack it up. Out of Monkey's mouth. Don't care if it's my own children. Tisk tisk. I like kids. This goes back to even when I was a young man, Jack. If a baby was crying, pick it up and soothe it and get it to go to sleep. It's my voice, dude. Why not use it for the benefit of society? Who wants to hear a screaming child?
Nobody.
Yeah. Anyway. Miles, the difference between oral and anal, about 68. Fair enough. When we lived in Virginia, I don't know if they're still in the books. They might have finally got rid of them, but they had sodomy laws there. And a lot of people, when they hear sodomy, all they think of is anal. And that's not, no. Anything other than your penis
bonus
and vagina. Yeah. And in some states, even, listed missionary position. Obviously, a man on top. That's the only way you could do it legally.
You remember the good old days when doggy style was considered freakishly weird?
Yeah. It's what times is a changing, my friend. Times is a
I
changing.
know. Now pride marches are normal where people are peeing on each other. So
we have our second dumbest thing I read today. This is an argument about guns and your AR-15s and such. And we have Mr. Party of Fear here says hunting, they are urban assault rifles, not hunting deer or elk. Very loose legal standard here. It could easily be tightened up with any use of actual common sense. Hey Jack, have you ever heard of somebody squirrel hunting?
yes.
Rabbit hunting?
Yes.
Fox hunting?
Yes.
Coyote hunting?
Yes. I've
Wolf
done most of
hunting?
these things.
Yeah. Some of these people have it in their head that you have to have some kind of giant animal to be hunting.
Well, I mean, if they're thinking like trophy hunters, like you're going to go out and catch some lions or bears or some shit.
You absolutely can kill a deer with an AR-15. I know many people who use them.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jack. I don't go deer hunting, but if I was, I would. Me and Jack talked about this before. I would use like a 30-06.
Yeah, you want to make sure the deer dies the first time. I don't like the AR platform that much. I've said that several times. People get all pissed off at me. I think it's an overrated rifle. It's fine for if you want to shoot some people, but it's just an okay gun. It's not nearly as durable as other ones.
I think it depends on what you want to do with it, right? I like it for target shooting.
Yeah, target shooting is fine. It's great for that.
I still prefer firing what most people think of when you say rifle. Your Woodstock, your even like I told you before, so even if it's bolt action, that I prefer to shoot that. I'm just steadier with it. But I like firing all guns. It's just fun. And my favorite one to do targeting with was the AR.
Yeah. No, I'd rather shoot a 5.56 at targets and stuff. I don't know. I prefer like my dad had SKS for years. I loved that gun. That thing was amazing. It was Chinese made. You could put that thing through the fucking mud and it would come out and still fire. It was a beautiful, beautiful weapon. That's the semi-automatic AK-47 for those of you that don't know.
AF, thank you so much. Real quick, let me get this. AF, thank you so much. Gun tuber Brandon Hera is running for Congress in Texas. Gun control is losing. Lever action are the funnest.
Lever actions are pretty fucking awesome. I'll give you that.
I have more control. I don't understand the difference because it's not like I was rapid firing the AR, but I had a lot harder time zeroing in on the target with that.
Yeah. I would have to say the Marlin 444 left a huge fucking bruise on my shoulder. I had it shouldered right too, but that thing is a fucking beast. I really want one of those, but I can't afford anything that cool.
Fair enough. I understand.
It's a sexy rifle, man.
A point that was brought up in the comments there that we haven't talked about yet is the Second Amendment doesn't mention hunting at all. If you're going by what the Second Amendment says, the fact that an AR-15 can kill people, Jack, it's perfectly in line with what they were talking about. Am I wrong on that? For the even if you want to go by the militia standard, that would be a pretty proper gun to have. Am I wrong? You want something that's going to kill people, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about defending the country.
Yeah.
So, no, you gotta use that gun. You gotta load every time. Just a single shot rifle. You gotta get an old musket. Got to get yourself a black powder gun. I don't understand why people like those so much.
I don't know. Though, if you used a black powder rifle, though, those balls are way bigger than a regular, not like 9mm bullet. That thing's gonna fucking destroy what it hits. That's why they did a lot of amputations back in the day. It would
Yeah.
just shatter bone and go right through.
Musket was the most advanced weapon at that time. True. But that was also an advance over the guns that came before them. And it's not like these guys, I mean, they were already drawing up plans for things like a Gatling. Did they have Gatlings in the Revolution?
It had like a prototype. I forget what it was called, but it wasn't a common use gun.
Right. But it was enough that it was known.
Yeah, that wasn't an unheard of weapon.
They realized that guns were going to be advancing, and they didn't go, hey, only these certain guns, because they understood that the people need to have the same kind of guns that everyone else has. And frankly, arms is the word. They didn't even say guns. They said arms. That's why we saw a case the other day about a knife. A second, holy shit, dark conservatism, conservatarian. Fuck. He threw me off with that number, dude. I promise I can read. Hey, guys, here's another share of my tax return to you guys who got screwed over by IRS. Keep up the good work. Between you guys, Sitchins and Adam, and even Destiny, I'm all set on my podcast listening pleasures at work. Well, thank you so very much for that. And I will make sure to share that with Jack.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
That really does keep the show going.
Phew. You can get a new fridge now, Jack.
Yeah.
A Walmart once, and who knows how long it'll last, but
3 years if it's anything to go by this one, because that's where I bought this one.
My Walmart one, I mean, it's still behind me. It's been working just fine.
Yeah, I don't know, man. No electronics are designed to last more than 2 to 5 years anymore.
No,
it's all garbage. It's all designed to be thrown away and bought a new one purchased, because you can't repair anything. Everything's so cheaply made. You just break the pieces.
Yep. They had a semi-automatic musket. You know, one of the coolest things I've ever seen? There were rumors that way back, I want to say the Romans had basically a semi-automatic crossbow. And it might have been on Mythbusters where they actually built one with the stuff that was available at the time to prove, it could have happened.
Yeah. I saw an episode of one of those history shows with the guy from Blackadder. Anyway, they had one on there, and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, Russell, thank you so much. Black powder is fun because you get to pick the power that goes behind the bullet. I guess, but I'm also very lazy, and it's just so much easier to put a full bullet in there. The whole thing, just click, done. Maybe I shouldn't be so lazy. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you so very, very much. Virginia's sodomy laws have not changed, and mirrors Maryland's sodomy laws. Anything that's not tab A into slot B is illegal. Ironically, being gay isn't illegal, but having gay sex is. Thanks, sodomy laws. Yeah, okay, so they're still on the books. So you ladies out there in Virginia or Maryland who don't want to, go anything, I don't want to taste that tonight. Just be like, baby, it's against the law. You want me to go to jail for this?
And I'd be like, yeah, put the prison stripes on.
Right.
Women in prison
like,
movies.
I've seen prison
KC2
movies
with Jewel Shepard. Oh, yeah.
When you get out, you can tell me all about it when I'm in the other hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't call it the bonus hole because you start there.
That's right.
You got to work your way to the bonus round. Real quick, though, thank you, Keldrick. Of course, the Chinese gun can handle the mud. How else would it survive the rice fields? Yeah, well, they did use them did use AKs in the killing fields. Such an awesome gun. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Right to bear arms. I feel that includes ICBM models. I would agree. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I can be generous too, Jack. Here, buy yourself a nice ice tray to go with that fridge. Well, thank you, Frosted. I actually don't own an ice tray. Mini fridge.
Look at Pride. Now tell me sodomy laws should be abolished. Sodomy laws should be abolished. They're stupid. They're an intrusion into people's personal lives that the government has no business being in.
Now, if you're doing it out in public, maybe like don't
yeah, but then that's a public indecency thing. We already have stuff that covers that. We don't need to go into the specifics of what was being done there. You know, I wonder, you know, how the cops would take photo evidence of that, right? Oh, look, she's gaping. Wait, is that a term we're allowed to use on YouTube?
I don't know anymore, dude. The rules are stupid.
I looked it up on the Christian Science Monitor. Do not look up the word gaping with safe search turned off. Just throwing that out there. You will see some shit that will just change your life. You can't unlearn that shit, Jack.
I know. It's like looking at the jelly rolls on Lizzo.
All right, this is just one of those weird ones. I hope this doesn't lead to a major argument, but I didn't think cereal and soup would, and that's lasted almost a decade. A lady put on to Twitter that her and her husband were having an argument because he says ginger ale calms an upset stomach, and she says, no, it's got sugar in it, so it's going to make it worse. What say you, Jack? Does ginger ale help your upset stomach?
It depends on the brand, because ginger ale's carbonation is really what's supposed to be settling your stomach. Same as 7-Up, and Sprite and all that. That's why people take them for hangovers. But if you get something with a bunch of like high fructose corn syrup, it's not going to do anything for you. You got to get like pure ginger ale, like the IBC stuff.
Eagle says it helps my wife. It has to be Verner's. That's fair. I mean,
yeah.
Like you said, maybe brand.
Yeah, I think it, because like most of that stuff is so mass produced. You have to get one. It was always Verner's that my mom kept around the house for that, but Verner's and 7-Up would always be under the sink next to the chemicals. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to kill us, come to think of it. But yeah, she always had some on hand in case somebody's stomach got upset, because we were, 3 kids running around. Somebody's going to get sick.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you so much. Mentions gaping. Fortunate son starts playing. Thank you for the donation, my friend. I've had luck with ginger ale and Sprite. 7-Up, like you mentioned, those are 3 that I've always heard help, and maybe part of it is psychosomatic. But I saw one of the comments on this. It's somebody overseas. They're like, "Is this an American thing? Like they've never heard of it before?"
It's because they don't have ginger ale over there or sarsaparilla. They live in deprived, shitty countries. They're not awesome like America.
Russell says ginger's the stuff that fixes the stomach. I've heard that about ginger ale too. That it's the ginger.
That's why you want to get something that's pure ginger ale, and not high fructose corn syrup with caramel coloring.
Yeah, I've always used it. So I was curious how many of you guys have luck with it. Do any of you like not have success with it? One woman said when she was pregnant it didn't help her, while another woman said she used it throughout her pregnancy. I don't know. Maybe we're just all a little bit different.
Yeah, maybe our internals work a bit different, being so full of freedom and all. Real quick, thank you, Travis. Fridges now are garbage. The expensive ones suck so much. Samsung ice makers are about $700 to replace, and KitchenAid makes one that makes me cry. Wow. Yeah, well, as a repairman, if you're saying they're shit, I believe it. So, dude, I would never spend. Who spends $1,000 on a refrigerator unless you absolutely had to?
Well, these days you almost absolutely have to if you're talking about a full-size fridge, man.
Yeah, I haven't had to buy a refrigerator in a while.
Well, I told you with our washer and dryer, we went really high tech because we had the money at the time to do it, and it was like, we're going to get something that's going to last a long time. We'll get the best on the market. This is when front loaders first came out, and they lasted less than like 3 years. So with our next set, we went as low key as you could. We had a little bit of money to go a little bit, and it's like, no, I want the fewest bells and whistles you have on. I just wanted to fucking wash my clothes and dry them. And those have lasted already longer than the other ones did.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't buy a front-loading washing machine either, Eagle. Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Oh yeah, I just read that. Duh, what am I doing? Okay, I'm awake. Shut up.
When our dryer went out first, and we did not have the money at that moment to get a new one. And somebody had one for like $20. It was an old one, Jack, from like when we were kids. Fuckers
Yeah.
still worked.
Oh yeah, yeah. The washing machines I film my laundry with, those are from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Those old Wascomats at the laundromat, they're built to fucking last. But I'm always talking to the manager over there, and he's like, "Yeah, I have to replace because they have the top load ones too.
Sure.
There's a big row of them, and they're always replacing those things." And he's like, "I wish I could find more of these that worked, but they don't. They don't. People don't sell those; they keep them."
And the places don't make them anymore because it actually costs them money to make something that lasts longer. It is all designed on purpose. You guys, I don't know if you've looked into that, but the design of a lot of your household appliances, electronics, they are purposefully designed not to last that long.
Yeah, it's called planned obsolescence.
Yep.
It's the old Kodak model.
Yeah.
All the parts are specifically made by them, and they control like when it's going to be obsolete and when it's not. It's brilliant in a disgusting, evil way.
Yes.
Also, thank you, Circus Zero. Sodomy laws are kept as laws, so it gives cops reasons to knock on your door, better known as knocker laws. Yeah, well, I mean, the government doesn't like giving up power.
Yeah, we were walking by. We thought we heard butt fucking. I got to come in.
We want to come in and watch a little bit, maybe rub one out.
There was a little too much slurping going on. That can't be vaginal.
We saw that chick down on her knees. She was cleaning the floor. She was sucking pole.
Just stay out of people's bedrooms, man. Again, as long as they're consenting adults, I don't give a shit what they're doing. I don't care if there's 40 people in there. I don't give a shit. It's you guys signed up for it. As long as it's consenting adults. I don't want 39 people who want to be there and one who doesn't.
Right.
Saying.
That's called a gangbang.
That's called gang rape, actually.
Well, I mean,
all right.
Depends if you're a Tate or not.
We are going to move on to Nikki Haley.
Before we get to that sellout, thank you, Travis Gardner. I routinely work on Sub-Zero fridges that cost $13,000.
Jesus.
The fridges have terrible evaporator coils, and they take out the compressor. $3,500 service call. So fun to do. If you're making that $3,500, yeah, but holy God, 13 grand for man. I'm glad I don't own anything. Fucking hell. Everything I own could fit in like 3 minivan trips at this point. And I'm actually becoming more and more content with that because once I shed the comics, I could cut that down a lot. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Best story I've got for black powder was filing on a coffee filter with a 3X. Pyrodex yelled, "I'm Gandalf, bitch!" and threw into the campfire. Anyway, this is for a bag of ice because I'm broke just like your ice box. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Backscan says, I joined the stream to gang rape. The stream always surprises. Look, we don't hold back. And Jared said, hey, don't go from gangbang to Nikki Haley. Sus. Hey. A few years ago, and if she was like, hey, what? Thank you, Circus Zero. 39 willing and 1 not willing is democracy, monkey. I mean, that's technically true. But not necessarily the way we want to describe it to the rest of the world as we're selling it, right?
Right.
Oh, all right. Haley, all of the Republicans went to the Iowa State Fair today, Jack. Vivek Ramaswamy, he got up there and did an Eminem rap, which some people seem to be offended, but I don't care that he did it. I'm glad he's embracing that. Because a video popped up of him in college where he did a Eminem rap on some talent show kind of thing. Don't run from your path. Have fun with it. It's not like he was in a fursuit band like that idiot from Texas. What's his name again?
Beto?
Magic Dirt.
Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Robert O'Rourke.
It's just him, out there having fun. I'm all right with that. I'm not all right with this shit.
Minority. I am a minority first. So I think I'm as diverse as it gets. But I think minorities are smart. Minorities don't vote for people because of the color of their skin. They vote for people because they're going to lift them up. Because they're.
I'm so tired of people saying, we have to lift you up. No, lift yourself up, okay? Stop being a baby. Nobody's here to be your magic sugar daddy.
Why do politicians treat minorities like physically disabled retards? We got to lift them up. They're capable of lifting themselves. The 70s and 80s showed that they were.
Yeah.
P-Dog says, I'm a minority first. Bitch, that ain't it. In fairness, I think that she's just explaining that she's saying that's her first statement. And like, why I didn't hear the question. This video doesn't have it. I think that the question was like, how do you reach out to minorities, or what will you do for minorities? It's like, first, she should have said, first of all, I'm a minority, rather than I'm a minority first, where it makes it look like that's her identity that she's grabbing onto.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that for sure, but that's the way I understood that. It's still not a great look, but I think that part is being taken out of context online. Again, I haven't heard the question, so I can't say for sure, but I'm being charitable here, Jack. But when it comes to that bullshit, I think minorities are smart. They're gonna vote for somebody who's gonna lift them up. You're treating them like children, twat. What the fuck? And this is a Republican candidate.
Well, she's a rhino, to be fair.
Yeah, still. This shit is seeped into the party, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the rhinos are like that.
We got to help out them poor Negroes and the Hispanials and maybe some of the Asians because, they need help. They can't do nothing on their own. We white adjacent people got to fix them.
Well, it's that lowest common denominator nonsense the Democrats push all the time. A lot of Republicans have adopted those same talking points because they think it works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, because nobody wants to be treated like they're retarded. Real fast.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Keldrick. The gods of Streamlabs have forsaken Monkey. Now is Jack's time to rise up and conquer. Well, thank you, Keldrick. I appreciate that. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, me neither.
Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. I had a customer who was looking at a $4,900, I'm assuming, appliance, who only turned it down because it wasn't costly enough. I glared at him thinking, I never want to hear about any of that out of your face again.
My father-in-law used to do well work, Jack. And he did it in the area he now lives in, which is a very, very wealthy area. It is a playground for DC elites. And he was telling me the story. He went to this one guy's house. He did the work and he gave him the bill. And the guy said, that's not enough. I need you to pump that up and give me that receipt. So he doubled it. The guy paid him and he just got a fat profit off that job.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
That's so stupid. I don't understand that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. If you have that much money to throw away, just give it to me. I don't care.
Find a fucking charity, man.
Yeah, I'm poor and pathetic. Give me money.
You work in DC. I know there's homeless people there that would take it from you.
Right?
But yeah, that's not an uncommon thing for very wealthy people. Like, you're not charging me enough. Now, the smart wealthy people are like, why is this bill so high? Anyhow, fuck Haley. I don't care about the rest of this. She gonna lift up the minorities, Jack.
So fucking dumb.
You think she'll sing like Kumbaya with them or something?
I don't know, but maybe Swing Low, Swing Chariot.
Swing low,
sweet chariot.
Coming for to carry me home. All right.
I was raised a poor black child.
Me too. I love that movie.
I know, right?
Don't care about that. Don't care about that. I do just want to point out to anybody who wants to like try to come at me on Twitter. I'm very good at playing that game. I will make you look like an idiot. Just stop.
I will ignore you because I don't care about you.
I enjoy that stuff, Jack.
I know you do. You're weird.
I'm good at it. People tend to enjoy things that they're good at.
That's true. That's true. And vice versa.
Oh God, I don't want to watch this chick. Nah, we're not gonna watch her. I'll throw it into chat, but this is just it was on the whatever podcast.
Oh, the hoe.
Oh, yeah, the really dirty hoe. You guys can watch this at your leisure. I just want to let you know up ahead that she's really fucking dumb, really nasty. Okay.
She kind of looks like a chick I used to know, and
like somebody you used to know.
Yeah, like Goaty, who sang that song. Now he's just somebody we used to know.
Somebody we used to know. I still like that song.
Oh yeah, it's a catchy tune, but he just released one song and disappeared, and now he literally is somebody we just used to know.
Why couldn't that have happened with Taylor Swift?
I don't know. Your hatred of Tay Tay is just cray cray.
I just find her unbearable. Did you see Lizzo was disinvited from the Super Bowl because of the allegations that she made some of her backup dancers eat bananas out of hookers' vaginas?
Yes, and she fat shamed them as well, and sexually harassed some people apparently too. So yes, I saw there's 3 lawsuits against her now, or 3 people suing her, and there's 9 people accusing her of these things.
Yeah.
So she got disinvited from the Super Bowl halftime. Let's face it, if she had to do the cardio of walking all the way out across that field, she might have a heart attack anyway.
She ain't gonna walk. They would have had a truck carry her out.
A flatbed, like a tow truck.
Anyway, at least now the biggest people on the field will be the linemen. So screw that nasty hoe. Lizzo, she never should have been a thing. One, she ain't that good of a singer. And the only reason anybody cares about her is because she's fat.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be able to get famous for being fat.
You'd think so, but here we are. It's that sideshow effect. You know, we don't have freak shows anymore, so
yeah, she's the fat lady.
Yeah, she's just the fat gross lady that you're morbidly curious about. It's the whole reason TLC has programming.
If you are going to highlight, ridiculously obese people, it shouldn't be in a way that's complimentary and, hey, look at how great this is. So fuck that fat bitch. I'm glad she's not going to be on the Super Bowl because that would have annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
Plus, that's got to be really hard to, get the camera so you can see anybody else in the frame.
Well, you get a wide angle lens and everybody looks fisheyed.
Well, you've seen her though, right?
Yeah, she's already fisheyed.
You could take the video from the blimp. She's still going to fill up the camera.
It's a good thing she's not a country singer because then she'd wear like cowhide leather and everybody would make a lot of funny jokes that I'm writing in my head right now.
I was actually thinking now they don't have to worry about her grazing during halftime. But I didn't put that on Twitter. I thought that might have been too far.
Yeah, well,
anyhow,
new Twitter's reverting to old Twitter very quickly. So,
we have to go back to our dumbest person of the night again. This isn't her, but it's somebody that's related to her, saying that this led to an argument that I saw with Weibo and Genitalia. That's their name. I'm not making fun of them. Subpar Genitalia. But this woman writes, I'm not devaluing. Sorry, let me get the first tweet where it says, every single time the division of household labor comes up, someone. I didn't put it on screen, Jack. Now I feel bad. It's on screen now. Every time the division of household labor comes up, someone will say that a husband should come home to a clean home with dinner on the table after their long, grueling day of work, like they were all off on oil rigs or in coal mines instead of PowerPointing.
What? Right.
She goes on to say this a little bit later. I'm not devaluing the clickety clack work or the Zoom meetings or the circle back on emails, but it wouldn't matter if I did because someone pays them for it. So don't devalue the unpaid domestic labor of stay-at-home parents.
Oh,
And
fuck
for
off.
those of you who follow me on Twitter, it's this tweet here where I said tonight is shaping up to be one of those shows. Because I have the ability to piss some people off here. I apologize in advance. I don't mean it, but I apologize in advance. I am sick and fucking tired of hearing about unpaid labor. I'm fucking tired of hearing it.
Yep.
You don't get a paycheck. True. You have a roof. You have food. You have clothing. Chances are you have access to things you really don't need, like television, a fancy phone, the internet, things you can survive without. Plus, most women, it's something like 80% is the stat. They spend the money in the household. So it's not like the man is getting the paycheck and going out there and buying whatever the fuck he wants and the woman has nothing. You're not getting a fucking paycheck. No. But stop pretending you're not compensated for your fucking work.
Isn't that part of the social contract that you make when you get married? If you're going to be a stay-at-home housewife, that you're going to
Or
take
house
care
husband.
of the home. Yeah, well, that's less common, but yes. So you're going to stay home and make sure the home is taken care of, and they're going to go out and do the work, working and pay the bills that way.
Yeah.
So they're the breadwinner, and you're the domestic partner taking care of all the household, stuff, paying the bills, running the errands, getting the groceries, making sure the kids are, wrangled up and whatnot. So it's part of the partnership agreement. I don't understand. Plus, most women I know would rather stay home with the kids than go out and work a 9-to-5 job, because that's all they fucking talk about at work is their kids.
Nobody's devaluing you.
Well,
But
I kind of do.
stop pretending that you're not compensated. You absolutely are. Your compensation is your home. Your compensation is your food. Your compensation is your clothing. Your compensation is being the one who picks out the furniture, who sets pretty much the schedule for the house. You get to do pretty much everything there, and you don't have to go outside the home. And it's been my experience, and this is what the argument popped up with Weibo, is that the other one said, I bet that this woman's never done actual work. And what they meant by actual work is work outside the house.
Yeah.
It's been my experience that the kind of people who say stupid shit like this don't ever work outside the house. They've never been there and had to be the one with the burden of being the breadwinner, of bringing home the money to pay the bills, to keep the lights on, to make sure the kids are fed, to make sure you're fed.
Yeah. Make sure that they're not getting downsized, to make sure they're a valuable member of the team. They worry about their job all the time because they got family to take care of.
I'm so fucking tired of this argument. Knock it off. If you think it's so easy, by all means, get a fucking job. Bring some income in and help, and see how great it is to go to work every fucking day.
Yeah, it's what we call work for a reason.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she's kind of downplaying the work that a lot of men do, like construction work, the road crews, that sort of job. There's a lot of people that do that physical labor jobs, sewer workers, trash people. You don't think about those. She's like, oh, your PowerPoints. No, bitch, fuck off. A lot of men, the vast majority, I would say, have some kind of job that isn't a sit on your ass job.
Even if you do have a sit on your ass job, there are other kinds of stress besides physical stress.
Yes.
And to just completely downplay that because you're feeling unappreciated at home, which, let's be honest, that's what this shit is about. Fuck right off. You be the one to go out and carry the burden of the family. Let him sit at home and take care of the kids and mop the floor and wash the dishes.
Yeah, get up at dawn and run the combine for a few hours. Good luck with that. You couldn't handle it.
And for the record, I don't think housework is easy either. I think it absolutely is a lot of work for a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad to keep the house. It absolutely is.
Yeah, it sucks. Nobody likes doing that shit.
That doesn't mean that the guy going out, oh, you're sitting in the office, clickety clack. Fuck you. Meanwhile, Jake, this chick has a post later on her timeline where there's a kid who's sick at home, and her husband brings her a specially made salad. This is not like he just threw some lettuce and tomato and some ranch on it. No, this is a really nice salad, and delivered it to her in bed, and took the child so she could eat in peace.
Oh,
And this is how she talks about him. Fuck off. Wash the dishes, bitch.
yeah. Somebody like this is not going to stay long in a relationship, and they're going to blame the guy and wonder why.
Yeah. I don't understand what happened. Well, you're kind of a bitch. Why would you speak about here? I'll even show you the post. This is the salad this motherfucker made, this ungrateful bitch. That's like an avocado salad with some it looks like hand shredded cheese. That's
fancy looking.
That's fancy. That's some shit you'd overpay for at a restaurant.
Yeah, I wouldn't make that for her. She seems like a bitch.
I'd bring her a bowl of Cheerios without milk.
Yeah, you get warm water today. You want milk? It's in the fridge, bitch. That I pay for.
But the domestic goddess, again, thank you for keeping the house clean. But you spend all the money. That's how there are very few households, Jack, where the man is the one who like still pays all the bills and does all the shopping and all. That's typically done by the woman. Or it's typically done by the stay-at-home partner. You know why? Because they have the time to do it. Fuck. Anyhow. I don't have enough on that one to talk about it. Do I want to? No, I don't want to talk about any of that. So we can move on to what you brought, Jack.
No, okay.
I'm very curious about what that Twitter link is because it's already purple for me, which means I've watched it.
Oh shit.
That's all right.
I know you watched this one.
Okay.
I got another one for you that I didn't put in there because it's a surprise. I don't want you cheating.
Now, this one's a little gossipy, but that's all right.
A little bit.
Barack Obama told X, "I make love to men daily, but in the imagination," letter shows. Which explains his love for Michelle, or Michael, as she was known at one time.
Don't dead name her.
Former President Barack Obama wrote of his androgynous mind and making love to men daily, but in my imagination, according to the redacted portions of a now notorious 1982 letter obtained by the Post. The more than 40-year-old letter to an ex-girlfriend recently resurfaced after Obama biographer David Garrow gave a long and winding interview on the one-time commander-in-chief. In regard to his homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present, a refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination, Obama, then 21, wrote to Alex McNear in November of 1982. This is the chick that he was dating and he wrote to. I mean, did anybody think Obama was straight, honestly?
Right.
Does anybody think that the Secret Service was not slipping guys in there like Marilyn Monroe would slip to JFK? I don't much care other than the fact it's funny because Michelle looks like a man. And it makes a lot more sense that their relationship is what it is.
It's a man, baby.
But it is funny.
Well, yeah, that's why I put it in the list.
I didn't go check the story, but there was a headline. Yeah, I hate when people just take a screenshot of the picture of the story and put it up there. Link the fucking article. But a guy got arrested for slipping Viagra into his date's drink to make sure she didn't have a penis.
Yeah, that's from a joke site. But I could totally see guys doing that.
I think people are gonna start doing it now. Like, don't worry, it's not. It's not a date rape drug. I just want to see if you have a dick.
Yeah, like well, you gotta check the goods.
You do. I mean, you're not allowed to just grab it. So
yeah, you're not allowed to Crocodile Dundee.
By the way, that other Twitter link's also purple for me.
Oh, damn it. I don't remember.
Nice try, Jack.
No, that's the one we were gonna do the other night. I don't know if you've actually seen it or not. I'm assuming you have, since it's purple. Purple?
I at least clicked on it and brought it up. So we'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to a more pressing story than the former president's sex life. Fucking I don't know how anybody didn't. He was so gay. And we had our first gay president. Now we don't have to elect Buttigieg.
And he was black, so 2 birds, 1 stone.
He was black. He was mixed. That's another thing. I mean, because he was actually mixed. He was gay. He was Muslim. Wait, we're not allowed to say that, right?
He was a foreigner.
he was absolutely, totally Christian, y'all. Totally Christian. Obama was black. I mean, his skin was. He didn't tell us about smoking dope while listening to Tupac, so I'm not sure he's black. Fucking Kamala. Barrels of drinking water for migrants walking through Texas have disappeared. Why are we encouraging them? Can anybody
this has been going on for a long time.
I know. As one of the worst heat waves on record set in across much of the southern United States this summer, the entire United States. I'm in Michigan and it hit here, so just saying. Authorities and activists found themselves embroiled in a mystery in this arid region near the border with Mexico. We'll get back to that in just a second, Jack, because I have a donation. And while it's loading, guys, we are brought to you by you. Please, please, please hit that like button. If you're on Rumble, hit the thumbs up button. Tell your friends, your family, that bitch you hate her to get them here. Say, hey, Monkey and Jack, best news source you'll find. They just told us Obama was gay. And if you can, please consider donating to Jack or myself. The link is in the YouTube chat and in the description of each video. Travis Gardner, thank you so very much. Someone told me that plinth, I think is the word. Plinth is a great word. Told him that it's good, but no need to put it on a pedestal. What is a plinth? I'm guessing that's a joke I'm not getting. English boy? What's a plinth?
It's a statue base.
Okay, gotcha. It's a pedestal. I got you. All right, I get the joke now. I ruined it, but sorry, you guys. Plinth can be used in place of pedestal. All right. Look, I have a good vocabulary. I almost called you John. Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
All right. I have a decent vocabulary, but there are words I don't know. Barrels of life-saving water that a human rights group had to strategically place for wayward migrants traveling on foot had vanished. Usually they're hard to miss, labeled with the word agua painted in white. Capital letters and stand about waist high. The 55-gallon, 208-liter blue drums stand out against the scrub and grass, turn from green to sun-dried brown. The stakes of solving this mystery are high. Actually, no, just tell the migrants not to come. It's not that hard, Jack.
No, I say if they're going to break into our country, they got to work for it. They can't have free watering stations. Fuck them.
You know what?
Fuck these invaders.
I know how they can fix it.
Yeah, fill them with
sand.
Lime and
just fill them with sand. You know how heavy a 55-gallon bucket of sand is? Nobody would steal it. I'm just saying.
No, I don't want water buckets out there anyway. You're just encouraging this shit. Yeah, they are mosquito breeding grounds. Good luck with your yellow fever outbreaks and your cholera and malaria and whatever else. Probably dysentery because somebody will shit in one. But yeah, fuck these people. I have no sympathy for them. They're just breaking in to loot the country and piss all over our laws and laugh at us. They're just stealing. So fuck these people. Oh, thank you, Keldrick. Now, Jack. PETA told me that the phrase was unethical. It's 2 birds, 1 scone. Now, I can't kill 2 birds with 1 scone. That makes no sense. I might eat the scone, but how am I going to kill the birds then?
If you let it sit long enough, it'll get nice and hard like a rock.
Oh, that's true. But I still don't think I could actually kill 2 birds with that. Maybe 1.
Hosfer, thank you so very much for the double feminist donation. Says half for John. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Who said that?
It was Hosfer over on Rumble.
Oh, thank you.
Summer temperatures can climb to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43.3 degrees Celsius. Why are we speaking in that non-English shit? Anyway, in Texas, sparsely populated Jim Hogg County with its vast, inhospitable ranch lands. Migrants and sometimes human smugglers take a route through this county. Seems to me like there should be more law enforcement rather than water barrels.
No, what's Border Patrol gonna do? Welcome them all in, give them free cell phones and gift cards, and babysit their kids.
They take a route through this county to try to circumvent Border Patrol checkpoints on a busier highway about 30 miles, 48 kilometers to the east. More than 60 miles, 96 kilometers from the U.S.-Mexico border. It can take several days to walk there for migrants who may have already spent weeks crossing mountains and deserts and avoiding cartel violence. Fuck off. I don't want to hear about their tragic. This is not the Underground Railroad. These are people getting ready to break the law to come into our country because they won't fix their own fucking shit. Oh my God, they didn't get enough water. Did they have water at home? Would have been all right.
Yeah, but this is free American water, so they got to take it.
This is like them bitching. Oh my God, they killed a baby. Governor Abbott killed a baby because it drowned in water that the parents shouldn't even have been in the first fucking place. All right, who's really to blame?
Well, they had to come here for the fabulous prizes that they were going to get.
Faithless says I would add landmines and moats and deadfalls. Now look, I wouldn't put landmines, but I would certainly dig a fucking moat.
I'd put landmines.
Fill that bitch with crocodiles. We can call them an invasive species, but because we have alligators around these parts. Bring in some crocs. Maybe some piranha.
Thanks, Hosfer. Who says half for Sally. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's very generous.
How do you say go home in Spanish? Something casa. I'm not. What would go be? Vamos casa.
I don't know. This is such a slap in the dick to all the legals that came over. And they're the ones that are going to pay the price for it too, because the hatred is going to be aimed at everyone that's Latino. At some point, this is going to actually start impacting our economy because these people aren't working. Look at what it's doing to New York and how bad they're whining now.
Eagle says I refuse to learn Spanish. I like Spanish, actually. I still think English should be made the national language, the official national language.
Yeah, I mean, I think people should learn multiple languages, but we need an official language.
Vaya tu casa. That says va tu casa. Shouldn't it be via? Shouldn't there be an I in there?
No, I don't know.
Vamos a casa. It's let's go home. Or vámonos a casa. There you go. Go to your fucking house. Get the hell out of my country. How do you say get the hell out of my country? Because that's what should be on these water things. And they should be empty. Or maybe booby trapped. Oh, no mines, but booby trapped water bottles. There you go. And you know what it does when you open it to get the agua? It doesn't like blow up or anything, Jack. It's a giant arm that just flings you the fuck back towards the border.
It's a giant sight gag from a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Exactly.
A giant fist pops out and knocks you out.
Just, yeah. Go to fuck home, man. Get out. You wouldn't be having this problem if you didn't make bad decisions. That's all I'm getting at.
you're the dumbass making these risky adventures, misadventures, I guess I should have said, to come here and loot from another country. Fuck you, invader. Go home.
You know what they should
Do the
I have a
paperwork
new
like
idea.
a normal adult.
Fill the barrels with ICE agents. How do you say
That's
ice
just a
in
giant
Spanish?
net that shoots out like the A-team or something.
Yeah, they pop out and boom, gotcha. Put ice on there. That way you're not lying to them. And like, oh, that'll be nice. Got him. And then put him on a giant arm that flings him back across. I'm just saying.
The catapults.
Look,
I'm telling you.
a man can dream. I mean, it's basically what I'm talking about, a catapult. A trebuchet would be more fun. Because those,
Well,
I mean,
yeah, you get better range too.
yeah, and they're just a lot more fun to watch. You ever watch any of those people who build trebuchets and then just launch random shit with them?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. There was somebody on YouTube did that with watermelons, and it was a lot of fun to watch that.
I saw somebody, they did it with a piano, and when that thing went,
Really?
it shattered into a billion pieces, man. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, that's badass. Yeah, no, we gotta do something about this border. It's getting ridiculous.
Close it would be my thing, and I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for these people. We're not talking about any. It's not like Mexico's at war with somebody, or there's a lot of what you're talking about is just mostly corruption and being really fucking poor. They can fix that. You can fix that. You can fix countries. It's happened before. You guys are putting up with it, and then instead of actually doing anything about it, you're crossing my border to try to make my country suck. Get out.
Yep.
We've talked about Mexico before, Jack. Mexico should be rich as fuck.
Yeah, but they're corrupt as shit, so that's not going to happen.
They should be a world power. They have so many resources. They have you can have tourism up and down both sides of that place.
Mm-hmm.
All they got to do is get rid of the corruption, and they will never do it because, well, the people won't rise up against it. I'm afraid the cartels.
There's too much money involved in all the illicit activity, and people are cowards.
Yep.
And I get it because the cartels kill people, but until they clean that up, it's not going to change.
You know how you fix that? You kill them back.
Drone strikes.
Yeah, you know what? It'll be bloody and horrible, but unless you do it, unless you fight back against them, and we'll just send them to prison. Will they get treated like fucking royalty and still manage their cartel?
Yeah, because everybody's corrupt.
That's not how you deal with that shit. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue. We're not talking about good people with different political. We're talking about murderous drug cartels. Fuck them. Anyhow.
No, they needed Hombre Murcielago. They need a Batman.
That wouldn't be horrible. They need somebody who actually fights back against this shit. And look, it is dangerous in Mexico. I mean, what was it during the 2015 or 16 election that they had? You had mayoral candidates dropping like fucking flies.
Yeah, there was that one town on the Gulf Coast that they killed like 8 mayors in 1 year.
Yeah. And until you clean up that shit, you're going to have these problems. Clean up that shit because you're not my problem. Deal with your shit, man. If you want some help dealing with them, I mean, I'm all right with that. We'll send some drones your way and help. I mean, that's what DeSantis is basically running on now, bombing Mexico.
With that.
I saw somebody like, oh, sure, that's what we want to do while we have what's going on in Syria and Ukraine, is to start a war with our neighbor who's right down there with 100 and some odd million people. Like, yeah, what are they going to do?
Yeah, well, first of all, half the Mexican people would probably be with us on that. Second of all, we're not at war with Ukraine or Syria. We got to stop giving them all our stuff.
Yep.
Those fucking freeloading parasites.
Houseworth, thank you again for the $24. That is a double feminist donation. We like all feminist donations around here. Take 5 miles of the Mexican side of the border and DMZ it. There you go.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Or bomb the cartels.
Maybe we could do both. Because with 5 miles on either side of the border, you could put up a pretty nice DMZ.
Sure, yeah.
And have a really good landmine field. Just saying.
Yeah, just until we take our border seriously, nobody else is. And
yeah,
as long as they can come here and know that they're going to have, when living in the street in America is a better life for you, I get it. You have problems there, but that you're not fixing your problems by coming here.
No, your problems come with you because you have the same problems, crippling poverty. Now you just move to a richer place where you're going to be a parasite on the system.
Except, Jack, many of them end up homeless. You want to talk about danger? Be homeless in American City. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. This whole thing is stupid. Until we go after the people that are providing things for them, like the employers. If you get caught hiring illegals, jail. You get caught renting an apartment to illegals, jail. I guarantee you that shit will stop a lot faster. It'll be easier to round them up because you just go do a sweep of them hobos and be like, all right, this looks like you need to start, identifying yourselves, scan some fingerprints here.
Yeah. We're not taking it seriously. There's a lot of talk about it, but nobody ever takes it serious.
Because the people that make the decisions on this shit all live in gated communities. It's not their problem.
Well, it's similar to the gun thing we saw, because you'll hear Democrats, we need immigration reform. No, we don't. If we just enforce the fucking law, we wouldn't have a problem. But you guys, you want them here so that you can say, look, we brought your family here. Get the fuck out. We don't need new immigration law. We just need to actually follow the one we do. Now, we do need to break that stupid ass deal we made that said that they can stay here for however long, because that is just a deal we made with some upset immigrants.
Yeah. No, there's
no need for it. We could have told them, no, get the fuck out. And we need to do that. We need to get rid of the anchor baby bullshit.
Yep. Stop incentivizing people to come here.
Yeah. If you go overseas and you have a child, Jack, it's an American citizen.
Yep.
But if you come from another country and have your baby here, it's an American citizen.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Your little brat that you just popped out goes back across the border with you. Don't worry, you weigh less because you have the placenta gone.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, I don't have a problem with people that do the paperwork, pay the fees, and get here. They went through the hassle. They're the ones that, fine. You did everything the correct way. But you just stagger over some tiny little stream where the Rio Grande is. You're like, I'm a citizen. No, that's not how any of this works, jackass.
Yep, get out. We'd be doing Mexico a favor. We absolutely would. These people who are leaving, look, we can help Mexico. We absolutely could, Jack. And I'm not against it. They're our neighbor, and if we made them a better trading partner, that would help us.
Yeah.
But they need to want it. It's kind of like an alcoholic. They need to want to change. And they don't.
They have no incentive to do so.
Yep. Rise up, fuckers. They have guns. There's more of you. Just saying. And if they can get guns, so can you. Just throwing that out. Hey, Obama might sell you some.
Well, that's true. Fast and Furious.
Senor, I am from the cartel. Could I have a gun, please? Anyhow, let's move along. We have an update to a story we talked about the other day. I was wondering about this, Jack, because let's get to it. School district blames rogue principal for anti-white discrimination, but documents suggest it was official policy.
Mm-hmm.
When we read the story about the principal who did this at that elementary school, in that article, it mentions briefly that it was a misunderstanding of the policy.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, I'm sure they'll get into it, but just to remind you guys, there was a policy that teachers were supposed to give Black students priority when they were helping children.
Yeah.
And then other children of color, and then white people. And she said, or they didn't actually quote her. They quoted the school board saying it was a misunderstanding of the policy. She had just misinterpreted it. So anyway, a Wisconsin elementary school has come under fire after tossing a rogue principal under the bus. Rogues in air quotes there, guys. Or in quotes, sorry. It's not air quotes when it's written down. I need to point that out because I see people saying that on Twitter. Like, that was in air quotes. No, that was just in quotes.
That was regular quotes.
Yeah, air quotes are when you do it with your fingers. Anyhow, after tossing a rogue principal under the bus for directing teachers to prioritize meetings with students based on their race, Dan Lennington, an attorney with the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WIL, says the school leadership seems to have abided by district policies calling for educators to spend most of their time on targeted student populations as part of the district policy. Yeah, thank you so very much. I don't see cryptic here, so I went to the Air and Space Museum. There was nothing there.
Who sent that?
That was P-Dog. Thank you so much, my friend.
Oh, yeah, you kind of ducked out when you said the name.
Oh, sorry. That joke I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny, too.
That is funny. Now I can't stop thinking about that. I get what they're going for with air and space, but yeah, that should just be empty. Anyway, where are we?
Room.
Yes. Anyway, the Will attorney says schools leadership seems to have abided by district policy, calling for educators to spend most of their time on targeted student populations as part of the district policy seen by National Review, which calls for decentralizing whiteness in schools and using the hiring process to create staff that is free of blockers and resistors. Could this get more communist?
Or more racist?
Jesus, fuck. Yeah, we got to keep the dissenters out.
Well, I mean, they're troublemakers, those dissenters.
Lennington became involved in the case following a whistleblower complaint from an employee who attended a November 2020 staff development meeting at Lakeview Elementary. The whistleblower sent Lennington a screen grab of a portion of the meeting discussing the creation of small instructional groups for students. According to the evidence, as part of the district's equity vision, there it is, equity, communism every time, and commitment to Black excellence, teachers were encouraged to prioritize your African American student meetings with you first and more often, and prioritize your English language learner meetings with you second and more often. After drawn out, when called out, the district tossed the principal under the bus. That's what we read about the other day. Do they have the actual? According to documents from November 2020 meeting, following the directive to prioritize meeting with Black students and English language learners, the presentation pivoted to the district's K-5 literacy, biliteracy, and Native American education and social studies strategic plan, which starts out by discussing a rally cry about the master narrative. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
The master narrative. All right. Sorry. The master fiction history. Whatever illogical script that is being imposed by people in authority on whatever else, the master history. Anyway. According to the document, the Madison School District acknowledges that the master narrative must decentralize whiteness. I really hate that term. We need to decentralize whiteness. You want us to stand off to the side?
Yeah, won't that make Guam flip over?
Yes, it will. It will. The document goes on to explain that 80% of our time will be spent attending to our top 20% priority, which is students of color, English language learners, and students with general reading disabilities. Yeah, that is What she did is not a misinterpretation of that at all. It's literally the same thing. The only difference is that the teacher at that school listed them in the priority, where this one doesn't actually prioritize them, at least not yet. It's just those ones are above everybody else, where she's like, start with the blacks and then the ones who can't actually speak English. Goddamn. The document states that we will attend explicitly to these student populations' needs by ensuring that they are instructionally targeted with literacy, biliteracy, humanities, and English curriculum. Another professional development document indicates that Madison teachers are evaluated on whether they explicitly apply content goals to our targeted student populations. Yeah, I still think that principal was a twat for putting that out there, but she was just following policy. She absolutely was.
Can't we blame her
You
anyway
can't
and
bl-
sweep this under the rug?
The only thing I'll blame her for on this, Jack, is not going, hell no, we're not doing that. It wasn't her idea. It wasn't her misunderstanding what the goals were. This is them pulling this fucking anti-racist bull. This is Kendi shit.
Yeah. Well, it's active racism.
Yep. And to have the balls to come out and throw that that principal under the bus when you know what you did.
Oh yeah, they don't care. They didn't think anybody'd look into this.
Well, they know even if people do, then nothing. Somebody might get fired, but it's not going to change anything.
No,
they'll just reword it. It'd be like, due to some students falling behind, we are going to prioritize those children first. You know what I mean? So they won't specifically mention race, but we can all read between the lines. It'd be like the homeless kids, wink, wink. Did you see Vouch the other day making fun of, he said, Anna now hates me so much that she's turning me into what she's afraid of the most, homeless men. Do you know what that's all about?
No.
Vouch is mad because Anna Kasparian went on and talked with Ben Shapiro.
Oh, yeah.
But won't talk with him because
he's a piece of shit. So
he's a cunt. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an asshole and he looks smelly.
Anna Kasparian told a story on her TYT thing. Look, guys, I don't like standing up for Anna Kasparian. I hate that bitch. But in this case, she tells a story about how her and her husband went to the park and a couple of homeless men approached her. And when she bent over to do something, one of them came up behind her and mocked humping her while she was bent over. Which she calls sexual assault. It's still assault either way. And people immediately ran out there. Oh, why are you putting all this hate on black guys? Now, did you hear me say black homeless guys?
No.
Neither did she. And she had to eventually come out and go, yeah, it wasn't even black guys. But in these people's world, if it's homeless, it's got to be black.
That's weird because the majority of homeless people are white.
It's
a majority white country.
But what you see in all the news segments, they make sure they get as many people of color as possible.
Well, yeah.
Got to have the colored people up there to show that it's affecting them the most. Well, what he's doing here is making a joke about this woman being assaulted by homeless people and just tossing it aside. They care about women so much until they step out of line. And then, you got a little sexual harassment. Fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm turning into what she's turning me into what she's afraid of. He even said that, afraid of the most. You're a fucking douchebag, dude.
Well, he looks like a bourgeoisie homeless person.
He's such a twat, man.
He is, but I don't think that dude's ever worked a real day in his life. Like
He's
he
a rich
looks like,
kid.
yeah, he's a rich kid from a very nice area. He's probably never missed a meal. He's never been in a dangerous situation. I doubt he's ever had real challenge or struggle in his life.
No,
And he has these utopian commie ideals. He's one of the most disgusting types of people.
he's not just a rich kid, guys. He went to the school that was in Beverly Hills 90210. He's a Beverly Hills rich kid. His parents are loaded. He never had to work anything. That's why he's all doughy as shit.
Yeah, and that's probably why he's a big commie too, because it's
Yeah.
always the rich, upper middle class kids, the trust fund kids that never work. They're all like, oh, I like not working. Oh, I like this Marx guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, man. Anyway, sorry, that just for some reason popped in my head, and I'd forgotten to talk about it the other day when it happened. But yeah, mocking her for being assaulted, Jack. That's where the left is if you disagree with them on anything.
That sounds right. They'll just eat their own.
Because she won't talk to him because he's been an absolute twat to her. You know what? If Anna Kasparian wanted to talk to us, I'd talk to her. But if I reached out to her and she said, no, fuck you, I'm never talking to you, I would understand 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It means she's listening to the show.
Or paid attention to my Twitter where she eventually blocked me.
Yeah.
I've been a dick to her. You can't expect people you've been a dick to be like, oh, yeah, I really want to talk to you.
Yeah, you're not entitled to somebody else's time.
No. And he's throwing a fucking fit like a 3-year-old because Anna won't talk to him and he's a twat. I mean, go fuck yourself, you fat piece of shit.
I mean, she should bake that cake for him.
Look, man, she messed up because she came out and said women are women. And we saw what happened to Rowling with that. It doesn't matter who you are, how left you are. If you do not latch onto that ideal that people born with penises are real women, then they will destroy you. She's still on TYT, for fuck's sake. It's not like she suddenly embraced MAGA, for fuck. Oh. Good evening, Nuts. How you doing, sweetie? All right. Everything we know about new hate crime bills approved by Michigan House. Only some speech would qualify as intimidation under the bill. When's this from? That's from way back in July.
Yeah. We talked about this bill, but we didn't actually go over what's in it.
I did on a show you weren't on.
Oh, that explains it. Never mind. We can skip this one then.
Yeah, well, just as a primer, there were a lot of people running around saying that you won't be able to say these. Intimidation is ridiculously vague in this thing.
Oh yeah,
because whether you're how many people have we heard claim that people are threatening them because they said something mean to them on Twitter? You're fat. Stop threatening me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, is whether or not the person feels intimidated. And that is a horrible way to write law.
Especially these days, man, with all the hypersensitive crybabies out there.
P-Dog says it passed, didn't it? Oh, yeah, it did. And that's it. When it passed is when we talked about it. And it is a very poorly written law. And I don't know how well it'll be enforced. And the first time it is enforced against somebody who just said something like innocuous, it's going to go to the Supreme Court and get shot down because it is a very shitty law. They will call it overly vague and say you can't do that. You have to have some kind of actual metric there. I felt threatened because you called me a boy and I'm a girl. Fuck off, pussy. Anyhow, yeah, it is a poorly written law.
Yeah, we could skip the next one and just go to the last article because we got a couple of videos.
All right. Save that one though. I'm kind of interested in that.
Yeah. I've had it for a couple of days. I can wait another one.
Oh my. If Hunter Biden were black, he'd be in jail for smoking crack. A pure example of hypocrisy. I'm guessing. Oh, this is medium. I was going to guess the root.
Well, I mean, is there that big of a difference?
It depends on, I mean, the writer, Jaron Mays here. I'm guessing this was published in Illumination. I'm wondering if he's ever written for the root. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is a junkie. True story.
Indeed.
I think we all know this by now, but the media is doing everything in their power to protect the guy. Not just the media, the Justice Department as well. It's nice to have friends in high places.
Yeah, shit.
If you go and you dig through the internet and Google Hunter Biden drugs, you won't find many videos and images of him using drugs or with hookers, which is weird because they were all over and specifically tagged just, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing how this stuff gets buried, and where you actually have, like here on YouTube, you have an easier time of just going to Google and searching and finding a relevant video to anything that makes Democrats look bad than if you looked for it here on YouTube. There's absolutely all through social media, through regular media. I'm surprised he was even able to find that through Google at all, to be honest. So I believe there's an effort to conceal this from the public. There absolutely is. It's called search engine optimization tampering, or what's the word they like to use? Curating.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny about this to me is that Joe Biden, ironically, spearheaded some of the most draconian legislation in the history during the so-called war on drugs. Wait, is that over?
Yeah, it's finished. We wrapped that up on Thursday.
Oh, I didn't realize that we called a ceasefire there.
Yeah. Biden pulled everyone out and left a bunch of equipment laying around for the cartels.
Probably needles, right?
Yeah, probably.
From his son's stash. If you go back, the original war on drugs was declared by Richard Nixon, who basically, in so many words, was using this war on drugs thing to go after black people and hippies. He's not wrong about that. Those were two groups that he couldn't stand. So he said, look, if we criminalize drugs, then we can criminalize all of these people, get them out of society. We don't have to deal with them.
Well, I mean, who wants hippies around?
No, I'm with him on the hippies, but
yeah.
Nixon was ridiculously racist. If you listen to
so was Johnson.
Oh my God. Those guys back then, you listen to their tapes, it's like, what is this, the 1860s? Like, no, that's,
right.
That's the 1960s and 70s. Anyhow, so Biden continued that tradition. He partnered with a guy named Strom Thurmond, a notorious racist. He's not wrong there either, who had a big problem with black people. They get together and they become the champions of the war on drugs. They literally become completely intolerant and unforgiving. Yeah, this is one of those things that Biden tried to both embrace and distance himself from, was the laws that were passed when he was in the Senate there, that he championed, the stuff that Kamala used to keep people in prison when they shouldn't have been. That stems from Joe. But just like the gun thing, it's his kid, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to be agreeing with somebody who wrote for Medium here, but he's not wrong so far. War on drugs mean war on blacks. I have some questions for you guys, if you don't mind answering. One, how many of you have a relative who has been incarcerated over drugs? Ooh, Jack, do you have a relative that's been incarcerated for drugs?
Oh, yeah. I had a cousin that spent 30 days down in Maricopa's tent.
I think I do, but I can't be positive that's what he went to jail for. I think it was one of the charges he was hit with while he was actually arrested for something else. Anyway, do you have any relatives who have been hooked on drugs? Yes, I do. Because remember, there's a whole story about the CIA bringing crack cocaine into Los Angeles. That's not a myth. This is all proven. They dropped it in black neighborhoods to dismantle black families. Crack was the first drug that was able to break the impenetrable bond between mother and child. Yeah. See, do you believe in the CIA black crack thing?
I don't think they needed to do that because welfare was doing just fine destroying the black family.
I think they probably had something to do with introducing it where it popped up.
Well, it would surprise me, but I think it was unnecessary. It wouldn't surprise me at all, though, because the CIA gets a lot of black money that way. Not black people money, but under the table money.
Peter says the evidence is there. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we actually have a direct tie like the CIA put out a memo or something like that. It's been a while since I've looked into it, so maybe more has come out, but I think there's strong evidence that the CIA was involved. Keldrick, thank you. I vaguely agree with Medium on something. Gross. With what Medium has become, that's just, I'm sorry. Having to agree with somebody on Medium hurts my head a lot. And finally, how many of you have a relative get killed over drugs, either get shot from a drug deal or died from an overdose? That one I don't qualify for.
Me either. Not yet. I got a couple family members working on it. I've lost some friends to alcoholism, but that was more. I don't consider that like the war on drugs because that's.
Yeah, it wasn't, because for some reason alcohol was granted an exception.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine to be an alcoholic, but don't be a stoner. I suppose. We want you angry, not relaxed. If you can't say yes to any of those things, then God bless you. I am truly happy for you because you were able to dodge the biggest shitstorm in American history. I wish that I could say the same thing, but unfortunately, I have members of my family who are either were or are currently drug addicts. I've seen firsthand how someone who was clean, mentally stable, and all turned into totally different person, almost like The Walking Dead. Crack, heroin, if you get too far into coke, a lot of those will do that to you, man. And it's amazing how much access there is to drugs in this country for a country that had a war on drugs.
Yeah.
It's like the war on drugs was like, all right, we're going to criminalize this, but we're going to put it everywhere. Like the whole fentanyl problem, Jack. That's not being manufactured here in the States.
No, that's made in China.
Yeah.
And
Now,
North Korea.
with the meth is a big problem here because it is made here.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I mean, that stuff, heroin's not coming from the United States. That's just coming from like Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Do we even have poppy fields in the U.S.?
No, they're easy to find.
But somehow all that shit makes it in. All of it makes it in. So Joe Biden, the guy whose son is known for smoking crack, was literally the guy who said that anybody who's caught with even a small amount of crack will get many, many years in prison. Some of those guys got so much time in prison that they're still locked up to this day with no hope for parole. This is genocide. All right, we found where I disagree with him. It's not genocide. This is the greatest destabilizer.
Why are we about her sides?
This is the greatest destabilizer in American history besides slavery. I disagree with you there too. I mean, I do think it's the greatest. It is a big destabilizer, but was slavery a destabilizer?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument because it kind of leads to the Civil War on the South side. But there were ways the North could have avoided it. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad we got rid of slavery, but slavery in and of itself wasn't the destabilizer. If you want to be honest, abolition was. Anyway, so if Joe had no problem locking up all these black people over drugs and giving them jail sentences, doing football numbers, why is his son exempt from the same punishment? I think we all know the answer to that. Thanks for reading. Actually, that's not entirely fair. Was he ever arrested for his drug use?
I don't know.
I mean, It's not like they just grabbed a random black guy off the street and went, "You probably look like you do crack," and threw him in jail. You're talking about people who were arrested. They had this stuff on them, or they had been using. Were those sentences ridiculous? Absolutely. Was rehabilitation a better idea than? And again, you can't really force that on people, but at least you could try. Better than locking them up for 20 years to life? Yeah, 100%. You would think Biden would have when it comes to Hunter, man, he had a problem. He had a problem. When it came to people doing crack, it's like, we got to throw him in jail forever. Yeah. What was his felony for then? Are you talking about the one that is currently going on? That was for the filling out the form illegally for his gun purchase. Look, lots of people get away with breaking the law. I'm fairly certain most of you who are listening to this, okay, let's be honest, all of you who are listening to this, if you drive, you've broke the law. You've gone too fast. You've didn't have your hands where you're supposed to, or there's so many specific laws where people live, Jack.
Yeah, you didn't hit your turn signal.
Yeah.
That's the one I see a lot of people not using the turn signal.
So people break the law all the time and don't get caught for it. And it's easy when you're the one who gets caught for it to go, how come he got away with it? Well, you can't catch everything.
No, it's just like them better.
Now, when it comes to Hunter, should he have been arrested? Probably when he was in the military. Because my guess is he failed a drug test. I'm almost sure, Jack, that he failed a drug test, and that's why they eventually kicked his ass out.
Well, he probably got away with it for a while because of his name.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. What did he do? 2 stints in rehab in the Navy, and then they finally kicked him out because he got busted again.
That sounds right.
The MPs probably should have been brought in, and yeah, he should have a criminal record. But if he wasn't arrested for doing it, you can't really say he got away with it the same way. You know what I mean? Don't make me defend Hunter Biden. That guy's a shitbag. But you can't really... unless you can point me to somewhere where, he should have been arrested for it. It's not exactly the same. Just saying. And I believe his felony was from the military. Did he? Oh God, this video. I think we've watched this before on here, Jack.
Yeah, it's still funny.
It is. As well as the tweet that went along with it. Does he have a felony on his record already? I did not know that.
Yeah, he probably does. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
If he had a felony on his record already, how was he even going to be able to get a gun?
It's called lying.
Yeah, but didn't he just lie about whether or not he was had used drugs?
I don't know if there were multiple lies. It really depends on the timeline where that happened. It might have happened before he got a felony, or it might have been an additional lie. It's so hard to keep up with this nonsense. This guy just keeps getting away with crime. So,
Nut says, I asked a cop that one time. He said, I was the one he caught up to. I don't know if this is an actual story, if it's just, one of those internet stories, but there's a story that goes, a guy got pulled over by a cop, and he goes, hey, all these people are speeding. How come you didn't give them tickets? And he goes, you ever go fishing? And the guy said, yeah. He goes, did you catch all the fish in the lake? Good point. You're not going to catch everybody. It's just the way it is. That's why you have the police station there, and a lot of times they'll even let speeders go past them. It's more of a deterrence than actually going to try to stop somebody. They stop somebody when it's getting to the end of their shift, unless they need the numbers. It's like, we're gonna have to pull out of here anyway. Let's stop somebody and head inside. Be very careful speeding in Michigan if it's around the turnover for when the night shift comes on.
Yeah.
For the state police, if you are on our highways, don't speed at that time because they're all stopping people.
Yeah, they got to finish their quotas. Their unofficial quotas.
They're just hitting people on the way back to the station.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Bum, bum, bum. And yes, I've had that confirmed by police that I will not name here. It says this man's on his way to beat your ass for not being a good leftist. What do you do? And it's our old buddy Hassan Piker. Now we're on my internet, Jack, so I don't know how this video is going to show up. Some of the video yesterday, because I did watch back some of the stream. Some of it was actually pretty good. And not a lot of skipping. But I'm going to throw this into chat for those of you who want to watch it to make sure there's no skipping. This is Hassan Piker showing off his kicking skills, which is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
Listen, bro, you're in your shine. We're out here. Oh
in your shine. He out there.
What happened? You died. That's what happened. Watch out, dude.
Kick it.
Yeah.
Is he trying out for a dance line?
I don't know. I've seen women kick better than that.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to be a rocket. What the fuck? What is that kick?
I don't know, but he's got poor balance too. Because look at the way he's hopping on his foot. You're not supposed to do that.
You're no
gonna fall over.
There is no power in that kick. Have you ever seen the videos of Joe Rogan working out and doing his kicks on the bag?
Oh yeah, people that actually kick those bags for a living. Those dudes move. That guy's pivoting to keep up with Mr. Poor Footing there.
So to the question, this guy's coming to you to catch up to you for being a bad liberal. What do you do? I knock him over easily. I'm fucking cripple and I could take that.
We have a phrase in my state called stand your ground.
It's so I'm just going to keep playing it for a little bit. One, he likes to watch other people's videos. So we're going to too. I have half a mind to just watch it once completely silently.
Yeah, but we actually talk during the video and discuss it, unlike him.
Look at his form here, Jack.
His form is shit, man. I've seen like first-year karate students do better. Like he's not getting his leg up very high to begin with, but his form is garbage, and he's hopping around so much that you're not building any leg strength. Get back to working on leg day, huh?
He's got muscles in his leg. How you got muscles in your leg and can't kick worth a shit?
I don't know. That little scrawny dude, he should be moving that dude around. Instead, he's just pivoting with him like, I got the bag.
Yeah, he's pivoting because Hassan can't hold his balance.
Yeah. He's going to fall over. If he does that in real life, he's going to fall over. Because kicking a bag is different than kicking a person. People are weird shaped. You're going to catch like an elbow or something, and it's going to hurt your foot, and it's going to fuck you over. But he's going to fall on his ass.
That's hilarious. Can we see it again? Absolutely. And like I said, we dropped the link so you can watch it yourself. Hell yeah, we can keep watching this. If you kick like this and you're in like a real fight, all they're going to do is grab your foot and knock you down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's slow. There's no power to it. He might hurt somebody a little bit, but not enough to stop him in a fight. If you're kicking someone, you want to kick him hard enough you're hurting something. Like he can't even knock over that $135 dude right there.
Yeah. Oh, look, and I love his man bun to go with it.
Yeah.
It just completes it. By the way, that punch he throws is really bad too.
Yeah, well, sounds bad at everything.
Rockets, that's what I said, DL. He looks like he's signing up for a dance line. All right, enough of that shit.
Real quick, thank you, P-Dog. Damn it, someone broke into my garage. Looks like they stole my limbo stick. I mean, how low can you go?
Nice.
There's just no shame anymore, dude. Did they take your tiki idol too? Thanks, P-Dog. Because the tiki idol, I'm pretty sure, is what caused the Maui problems. Too soon?
No, not at all. It's probably true.
I blame Greg Brady.
All right. I turned off the volume on this one. It's just some crappy music. This was a video going around. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about it. It's a woman and she's being proposed to, don't you see? And she's getting these thoughts in her mind about what that'll mean. Oh, she's gonna have to scrub dishes and wait, hang on. We gotta go back. We got to go back to this part. It comes by real fast. So Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Damn it. This one. Why the fuck she wearing a woolly vest as she's cooking in a wok?
I don't know.
Do you men make sure, hey, bitch, when you're cooking my dinner, you better be wearing a fucking winter vest.
Maybe she's in Russia.
Monk, do you think the Maui fire was natural or man-made? I honestly don't know. It could, I mean, look, lightning strikes cause fires.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard any evidence either way of what caused it. So
I don't think they know.
I don't want to guess. Anyway. Yeah, the whole point here is that if she gets married, she's going to have to do all this shit. So,
I don't do any of that house cleaning now. I live like a slob.
Is that the one? Yeah, okay. Now, when this first came out, people were thinking that this was an Asian girl who used some AI to make her look like a white chick. It's not. It is a white chick who lives in China and apparently speaks Mandarin. She has a whole bunch of videos.
Oh.
But you can tell it's not just the walk here. If you zoom in on this, which we're not going to do, there's actual Chinese writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to this here, I mean, the architecture in the background is all Chinese.
Yeah. That explains the effeminate dude's hand there, because it's obviously a Chinese guy.
Indeed.
Or a really manly lesbian.
And there's a lot of people who are saying this is, and it was even said in chat there, Chinese propaganda. Is it? Is this Chinese propaganda? I mean, this looks like it could have come out of any BuzzFeed video just a few years ago.
Yeah. Chinese propaganda or fourth wave feminism. The
right.
New, the new category on Frosted's show, I bet.
I mean, it could be both, actually. The Chinese could see that, hey, this is the stupid shit that Americans are doing to destroy their fucking society. Let's give them a hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But can it be both? Yeah, it could be both. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That is a woman's hand. Look at the fingernails. You're right, Evil One. It's just some Chinese lumberjack hands.
Jeff asked why my internet is fine on the other platform or gaming. Well, gaming, I use a whole different internet to do. Why it was so much better on Rumble last night, I can't explain. I don't know. You can call AT&T and ask them, because that's the internet I use for this. I have no fucking idea.
It might be some way that the video is processed versus video game footage for some reason.
Eagle says it was perfect last night. Well, those of you who are watching over on Rumble right now, how was the video? Was it choppy? I've never even considered that it would be okay on one and not the other.
I don't know, because it's choppy on my end.
Well, then it should be choppy on both, yeah.
Yeah, because, no, in the back room on StreamYards here, it's choppy. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you, and I wish I had better internet. Unfortunately, I just don't.
They forgot to throttle him yesterday.
Yeah. But as to this video, and I get the people out there like communism or a Chinese thing, and yeah, it might be a good way to do propaganda is to highlight stupidity and reinforce it from your enemy. That's just a good idea.
Yeah, help them continue their bad mistakes. And the destruction of the family has really done quite a number on our society. So they're encouraging more people to get married and have kids. We're doing a lot less of that. And look at who's doing better.
Choppy. It's since this is from China, you might say it's chop suey.
It's chop suey.
Wasn't that the name of a cartoon character, Chop Suey?
You're thinking of Hong Kong Phooey, I think.
Phooey, yeah, that's who it was. I love Hong Kong Phooey. I miss him. Anyway, Move Monkey. I wish I could. I can't blame the communists entirely, although fuck them on everything they do.
Yeah.
This would fit from a lot of American people. We see women pushing this idea on Twitter. Have you ever read what Dworkin said?
Yeah. She was a hideous monster, too. Like, physically unattractive.
She's miss all sex is rape. That is a real feminist philosophy. So yeah, fuck the Chinese, but don't negate what we've done to ourselves.
No.
Because
the fact they're taking advantage of our stupidity doesn't mean it's necessarily their fault.
China screwed up their own demographics. They absolutely did with the one-child policy. And with the one child. Trying. Oh, god damn it. Fucking TikTok. I'm opening this up as I'm speaking. All right. Anyway, so the one-child policy, for those who don't know, China literally had a policy where each family was only allowed to have one child because they were worried about population. The problem was that most of the families wanted sons. So if they had a daughter, they would kill it until they had a son.
Yeah, which the girls can't inherit property and name and title and all that.
Yeah, which has led to the problem of them not having enough women to keep the society going. Yeah. Never a good idea to have a shortage of women in your society, Jack. Don't get me wrong, gentlemen. They should be controlled, but you need enough of them. You got to keep them on a short leash. I love you, ladies. Anyway. Next up, we have our Momlennial video. We haven't seen Rome Girl in a while. Let's check in with her. What's this dummy saying? Where did Octavian rule? Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. All right. I'm going to guess. Octavian's not real. He's made up by the Spanish Inquisition. That is my guess. What?
How could you say such a thing?
Well, I'm just going
obviously no, he was the ringleader at the circus.
I'm just going by the fact that she says everything about Rome was made up. So how could Octavian even be real? I'm just throwing that out there. That's my guess. Let's find out what she has to say. All right, dummy, take it away. You're looking haggard. She got some darkness on it. She needs a nap.
I think that's a filter. She's got makeup on and the filter's fucking with it. Because look how smooth her cheeks are. She's got either way too much makeup on or it's a filter.
I guess. All right. Come on, you pretty dummy.
This is an excellent question.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's as loud as it gets. All right. Sorry, guys. I'll be quiet so you can turn it up.
First of all, we have to accept that Octavian might not have been a real person.
You might want to turn it down because I'm going to talk again. I just want to say, called it.
Did you watch this one already?
I had not.
Okay, good.
No, honestly, I was just going by the fact that she thinks Rome isn't real. So why would Octavian be real?
It was a real circus. It went on tour. That's why the tokens are found everywhere.
Fucking Octavian. We have to accept that he might not be real. You're such a fucking retard. All right.
It's like a stupid puppy. You're like, oh, you're still cute. Oh, look at you.
All right. We're going to get to the rest of her answer here, so I'm going to be quiet again so you guys can turn it up.
But a story based on real events. Second, any information we have about this time period comes from medieval manuscripts about 1,000 years after the alleged events. So think about a game of telephone.
I'm just going to keep going. It hurts, Jack. It hurts so bad.
Excellent.
However, hold on, it's backward. However, it was likely ancient Smyrna, currently known as Izmir. So here's a screenshot of Google Earth, and you can see that Izmir is the port directly across from Athens. And if you're trying to avoid Istanbul, not Constantinople, it's a pretty straight shot. Ancient Smyrna has been occupied since the 7th millennium BCE. Recent archaeological finds have discovered it was a huge port city. It was under Lydian rule and then allegedly rebuilt by Alexandros into a major city. And since basically every city that person touched became named Alexandria, it makes it difficult to decide which Alexandria in question we're ever talking about.
All right. Okay. So Octavian is real, but it's kind of like when you watch a movie that says based on real events. And instead of ruling over Rome, he ruled over whatever city she named, because they came from Greece but wanted to avoid Constantinople. What the fuck is she talking about? So just so I'm understanding this correctly, she wants to throw out that possibly Octavian wasn't even real. But if he was, and that's because everything we know about it was written 1,000 years later, which is actually later than she normally says it was written. Or sorry, earlier than normally she says it was written. But then she's ready to go back 7,000 BC to some other dude who she doesn't really. What the hell is wrong with this lady? All right. Our stupid girl is still stupid. I don't know what to even say other than that. I don't understand why she's so willing to believe some things and not others. She's only ever willing to believe contrarian things. She's I don't like contrarians. It's okay to disagree with people and stuff. Jack, I don't know if you know it, but you are muted. Like I said, it's okay to.
I forgot. I was talking.
Oh, okay. That explains it. I kept waiting for you to chime in, and then I came back over here and saw that you were muted. Any thoughts on Rome Girl here?
No, she's just as fun as she always is.
It's just I don't even understand. Oh God. You gave us a second one, and this one goes into what I was just talking about there.
Yep. People don't believe us when we say that she's serious. So she's got one that I went back to and found it, and I think this one's important because it does show some context for how bonkers this lady really is. Every now and then we got to do these kind of catch-up ones because we get new viewers that aren't familiar with Rome Girl.
Says on the screen, then why already 2,000 years ago only Italians by law were cives Romani since birth and not the others? Why Italia was the dominant provocarium? I think that's the word. All right. She's going to explain where Rome came from, you guys.
Because none of that happened, y'all.
There it is. Fuck.
The end.
Because none of it happened. God, this woman.
Have been lied to. I don't know how else to explain to you that the Spanish Inquisition completely destroyed European history, and they tried to do the same in the Americas.
All right, let me ask you this, lady. They destroyed all of this, right? How come they didn't do it to the Greeks? How come they didn't do it to anyone else but Rome? Since Alpine Gold, that I mean is tied into the Romans. That's still there. Why not those? Why not the tribes up there? who eventually become your Germans and your French. Why not those guys?
Just let it happen.
All right.
That was not their first rodeo. They had been in Europe for hundreds of years because the Inquisitions actually started in the 12th century. Now, in 1562, Franciscan priests in the Central America burned every Mayan book ever.
What does that have to do with Rome?
Yes.
All right.
Have less than 5 Mayan books. They destroyed an entire continent's historical memory. They burned cultic images, ancestral roles, anything that would give these people a sense of identity. For example, what we call Mayans are actually at least 28 separate ethnic groups with
Because the Mayans were a conquering tribe, you silly bitch.
Yeah, they made everybody fall in line.
You know, kind of like the Romans. Oh my God.
It's kind of like the circus. I don't understand how that applies.
That's like going, the United States of America is actually 50 states.
Yeah. It's right there in the name.
Their own cultures and histories that have been flattened by the church into a singular group.
Some of that destruction was actually done by the Mayans, sweetie.
Yeah, I don't think the church had a whole lot to do with that. It's not like it was a multi-ethnic society. It was a conquering tribe. They went in and basically enslaved all these other groups and said, you're part of our empire now. Deal with it.
It took less than 3 generations for those individuals to...
Oh, I'm sorry. Paul says he can't see chat. Refresh your chat. Because, yeah, we can see you. If you can't see everybody else,
no longer...
You probably
it took less than...
I fucking hate TikTok. Anyway, here we go.
3 generations for those individuals to no longer be able to read or write in their indigenous language.
Could they write in other languages to keep the history alive?
No.
No? All right.
We still don't know enough about Central American cultures, and they were massive industrial cities. Y'all think that the church didn't do the same thing to you? Okay. Y'all have 0 original copies from Rome. But, you know.
Except for Cicero's actual writings.
Yeah, and Josephus and dozens of other people. Ovid. Let's not talk about that. Let's just ignore all those writers from that era.
I always point to Cicero because he's like the most known.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have 0 original copies.
I believe we went over this once before. You had Ovid, Cicero, Lucius, Aeneas, Seneca, Virgil, Lucretius, Tenacious, Gaius, Plinius, Cassius, can't pronounce that. There's a list that goes on and on.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, colonizer.
Look how smug she is with her little face there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have watched this video before, but I like this one.
Yeah.
But she did say it was an industrialized society.
Yeah, industrial society.
Did they have cars?
No. Did they even have the wheel?
Press? No, I don't know. I don't think they did.
I don't think they even had the wheel.
Now, they did a lot for not having the wheel because that was back-breaking slave labor. Whoops.
Didn't they use like sleds?
Yeah, but I mean, the Mayans really?
The Mayans were colonizers too, sweetheart. But so are you. If I'm a colonizer, Jack, so is she. She can believe bullshit. It doesn't make her not a colonizer.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey. You're part of the group. Apparently, I still find it hard to believe they don't, but they can't find any wheel remnants. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no evidence that the wheel was here until Europeans showed up.
Yeah, Bubba points out that the Aztecs had the wheel, but only used it on toys. They have found a couple of toys that had wheels, is my understanding as well, but I don't think the Incas even had wheels. So yeah, most of the Americas didn't have the wheel. I'm largely willing to gamble. Maybe a few outlying tribes had it, but I doubt it.
Yeah. You guys already watched this video? Yeah, we mentioned that. As Jack said, sometimes we just have to remind people that this chick is real. People think that she's faking it. She's not. She's an idiot. She's an absolute idiot. I almost said Axel because I just saw it in the chat.
Yeah, because she's what do they call those? Not an alternative historian, but
bullshit historian.
Yeah, that's the phrase.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just delusional. There's a lot of people that do this. Tariq Nasheed's got those Hidden Colors movies where black people invented everything and everybody else stole it from them. There's a lot of these crazy lunatics out there. I found a couple of really good books that I need to check out that I think might be some of her source material.
I have to address this because Czechologic is really upset that we did this. And she only gets 4,000 views at most. Do you know how many we get? We don't have that most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, anyhow, there's our dummy for the evening.
She's more popular. That makes me so sad.
Isn't that saddening?
It really is. Thank you, Keldrick. This woman should be sued for excessive use of the word y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah, she tries to pretend she's Southern.
I'm not Southern, but I say y'all because my mom always did.
Well, you lived in Virginia for a long time, so
it's actually not where it comes from. It comes from California, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
All is not necessarily a Southern thing. It's a rural thing. It might have started in the South, but that's not where it's where it stayed. Rome girl, she's such a treat. Such a treat.
She needs to put out more videos.
She does, but I mean, how many times can you repeat that Rome isn't real? You know what I mean?
Well, she's got some other nonsense that she does too. So
sure, yeah. I mean, and look, we are still learning history. It's hard to go back and figure out what exactly happened. But like my favorite line of hers is still, there's no Roman writing found anywhere. That's not a thing. It's not even a thing. What the fuck are you talking about? But she's really sad. And I love it. And we'll laugh at her. With that, guys, we're going to wrap up though. So Jack, thank you for joining me. Oh, yeah. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. Really, really do appreciate that. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop a link to a video, but as always, thank you so much for the donations. Also, yesterday was the anniversary of the passing of a legend, Terry Davis's 5th death anniversary. So I'm going to drop the Medicare Internet Insanity on him as well. So you guys can remember the legend of Terry Davis.
I don't know who that is.
He created a program called Temple OS. And he also gave us this great phrase on how to identify CIA people, because where we get glowies, that's from Terry Davis.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. We'll see about a game stream, guys. It's another one where I'm not sure. Maybe. And it's a low side maybe rather than a high side maybe. But keep an eye out on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to Ranting Monkey Games with the bell turned on. If I do go live, it'll let you know. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
Guys, have yourselves a wonderful night. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I'm not singing no damn song tonight. Instead, I'm gonna croon it. I should probably make something rhyme with that. But there's nothing to it. That was so bad.